Tomatoes are a very common vegetable to grow in the garden as they are frequently used in everyday cooking and meal preparations. So, everyone likes to have some tomatoes growing in their garden. And of course, if you want to enjoy nice, juicy tomatoes and gorge with flavor, then growing them yourself might be something to try out. Tomatoes are generally not difficult to grow, whether you have green fingers or not, and you can also grow them year-round if you wanted to. Growing the tomatoes might not be such a problem, but getting good and healthy tomatoes may be a challenge, as you might face some problems while growing them. But have no fear, and you certainly do not need to give up the shovel and call it quits if your tomato growing is not going according to plan, because you just need to know a few points on how to avoid tomato growing problems and you will be harvesting red, ripe and ready tomatoes in no time. Here are some common problems and ways to know how to avoid tomato growing problems. Cracks. Cracks on tomatoes are quite common. Everything seemed to be going well and you may have been waiting for your tomatoes to ripen properly until one day when you went to check up on your tomato plant in your garden and found cracks and started to panic. If this has not happened to your tomatoes, then great, just read on to find out how to avoid it. But if it has, here is an explanation why. The reason why your tomatoes started to crack is because the inside of the tomato grew faster than the outside skin of the tomato. This happened because it was watered irregularly. This problem is very much similar to a pregnant woman having stretch marks on her belly. The baby grew faster than her skin had a chance to adjust and stretch as needed, but just like tomato cracks, regular moisturizing will help avoid that problem. So, water your tomato plant regularly to avoid cracks. Green shoulders. Green shoulders is another common problem faced when growing tomatoes, and it is where the stem end of the tomato is green and it seems as if it does not ripen or it takes longer to do when compared to the rest of the tomato. Green shoulders are caused by too much sunlight exposure, and therefore the chlorophyll in the tomato takes a long time to dissolve out of the tomato. To avoid this problem, simply make sure your tomato plant has a form of shade if it is in an area where there is too much sunlight. Pests. Pests seem to make their way through every garden, and this can be quite annoying once your tomatoes have been attacked by them. If your tomatoes have already been infected with pests, then you will probably have to throw away the tomatoes. But you can avoid pests invading your tomatoes with organic, preferably, pest garden sprays. If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day!